Jonathan, you might remember this. Where is it from? Yes, my stepfather was in the Air Force, and which took me out of the country at 6 years old. And that's where I started my ballet classes and met Miss Picnic, my first ballet teacher. And I stayed there. We stayed in Japan for 3.5 years. So when I came back, I was 9.5, and we went to Massachusetts. Thus started my traveling. And then I continued dance, not on the same level as which I was, but I continued to do ballet. And then it stopped after I got back to California. By the time I was 12, I wasn't doing as much dancing. Went to high school in Mount Holly, New Jersey. Unfortunately, I dropped out, but I went back and got my GED later on and furthered my education. I just graduated from Lincoln University. Yay! I just graduated in 2010 with my master's in human service. Well, how I came to the ensemble, I have a very good friend, Verdana Williams, who's another Scorpio as well. I used to dance with her, and it was called the New Omnibus Dance Theater. And we had come to a point that she said she couldn't teach me anymore. And she took me to see the Alvin Ailey dancers. And she said, that's where you should be. So my encouragement came from there. I was like, I can't do that. She said, yes, you can. And I was like, no. I was told that, because of my hips being voluptuous and all that, that you don't do that, because everybody's all thin. And she said, no. And this is when she took me to see Sarita Allen, who was with Alvin Ailey. And she had a shape like mine. I was like, that looks like me down there. So she's the one that encouraged me to do, she said, you need to be dancing professionally, not on this level, because you've surpassed that. And the way I came to Arthur Hall's, there's a person that I knew, I lived in Philadelphia. And he said, there's this joint on Germantown Avenue, this was his words, and I quote, there's this joint on Germantown Avenue, and they're playing these drums, and, they be carrying on in there. So I took him up on an offer, and I said, well, I want to come over, and I spent the weekend. And I came went around to the school. They were having class on a Monday, and I heard the drums. And I stood in the back door, and it was Tommy and Joey, and it was just a host of them. Bravo was there, and there was a few other drummers, but they were having class. And I was just captivated, I was like, oh my God, look at that. And they were just sweating and carrying on, and Arthur was just like a drill sergeant, and someone walked up behind me with this African hat on, and I couldn't see his eyes. It was JoJo. And he said, you need to talk to that guy on the floor. And I was like, this mysterious shadow behind me talking about that's the guy you need to talk to. And I was like, well, in my mind, I'm saying, how does he know what I came here for? You know what I mean? So there's a show in the back of my back that I want to dance, but I guess I was right in the mix with the drummers. I was so excited. It's like the rhythm just drew me right into it. I said, if somebody showed me that I could do that, I could do that. And he said, his name is Arthur. His name is Arthur Hall. So I stayed for the rehearsal. They were doing dance conga, and that's, that was the dance, Saw them doing their thing, and James was dancing, and I forget who else was out there on the dance floor. And I waited till the class was over, and I walked over to him, and he was like, oh, hello, and he's wiping sweat off his brow after he finished slave driving everyone, getting ready for this performance at the Afro-American Museum, as a matter of fact. And I introduced myself, and he says, well, you want to join, come for a class? I said, no, I came to join the company. And he was like, oh, okay, all right, So later on, he said, wait till after the class was over, rehearsal was over. And he invited me upstairs, and he told me about the performance, and told me to come and check it out, told me what days the classes were, and come and, see how he would see how I would do. And the rest is history. I was in. I saw the performance out in the parking lot at the Afro-American Museum. And dance conga was so sensual, and just the music just doom doom, doom doom. You could just feel it all over. So it was really exciting. And I came and I came for the weekend. I wound up staying for 11 years. So that's how I got in. He was real animate about, getting on the dance floor. I was like, I'm not ready for that. So he said, you just do what if you make a mistake, just keep going. I was like, is he serious? And I was really surprised. They were rehearsing for Harvest, and I didn't know the full dance. I mean, I knew it, but not comfortable with it. And it proved to be so, because I blanked out and I just kept doing the same movement over. But he said the thing is, keep moving, because nobody except you knows that that's the part that you miss. So just keep on and smile. He used to always say that. And he put me out there. He just stepped out on faith. Go out there. We need a body, and it's yours. So I was like, well, I can't do that. So he was very encouraging. And the rest was like, I was like one of those little preschoolers down there. I was so excited to be dancing, in spite of all the other obstacles that may have come up. He was definitely, and he did some other choreography with. He got this brainstorm one night. He wanted to do this tribute to Oshun. And of course, I was like a part of the furniture, because wherever he was, I was sitting right there listening to the stories, and I was even captivated by the jewelry. I was like, oh, I want some of that. He said, calm down. He said, when is your birthday? When is your birthday? Because you're just all fired up. And I told him I was a Sagittarian. He said, oh, with the Leo rising. He said, oh, you can't even help yourself. And I became a part of the family. He invited me to have something to eat, and it was just like coming home. It was like coming home. So, and then the rest is history. My mother says, I don't know why you want to go to that place. I was like, why not? Where is this place? Because she said I would never survive in Philadelphia, but that wasn't true. I said, well, they're dancing. She said I was too old, because you're 30 years old. Nobody dances professionally at 30. Just according to which book, But I said, that's not what I'm feeling. So an African dance helped me to tap into who I am. And the rest was like, I was been waiting for this all my life. And Arthur gave me that opportunity. So it was heaven. And to travel with him was like being out there with royalty. The best of everything. The red carpet. I mean, from going to California to Santa Barbara, and we looked like we took up the whole airport. When it was like we traveled like at least 30, 35 of us at a time. And during when we did BAM, and that was like, oh my goodness. And then we went on tour after that. You couldn't tell me nothing then. And I was like, oh, this is the life. I mean, this is what going to work, get up, and you don't mind doing that. You rehearse all day and be tired as all get out, and then you go right back into it, and then you do the performance. And that's the kind of job I like. You do something that you love. That wasn't Fat Tuesday. That was, what did they call it? Sweet Saturday Night.
Sweet Saturday Night.
And it's been documented on, my son called me from North Carolina and was all excited. He said, because Mom, this PBS channel I was looking at, and they had Arthur Hall, and I saw you on there. You guys were dancing, and and Brother Kofi, and and everybody. And he was so excited. He was like, I was telling my mom. I was telling everybody, my mom has been on television. My mom is on television. I was like, is it really that deep? He was like, yeah, Mom, that's something. It's not something every day. But that was Sweet Saturday Night, and we spent a whole week of doing just that, BAM, and Mama Lou Parks, dancers, and there was a host of different dancers from different disciplines, and it was a little mini play, and to be at Brooklyn Academy of Music for a week, it was the bomb. It was the bomb. And then we went on tour to upper state of New York, so then we've gone to Maine, and there's nothing to pack up the van with all the drums and everything, and take that long ride up to Maine, and we didn't care. Just all of us together, We get out, we just pile up, look like one of those commercials where they keep coming out the vehicle. That was us. Or have a caravan, or go to Harrisburg and do a show and do a tribute because they were honoring him, and and yeah, you were there, right?
I remember that well.
Yes. To bring African dance here, and to have the honor and the privilege to dance and be a part of that history is like, I'm still amazed. And to go to Dartmouth and do a residency, and I started my teaching career actually started with Arthur teaching dance at Harambe Institute. Because Arthur said, well, I need somebody to go and do this do this residency. And I was like, and you want me to do what now? And this was a solo, and I think Kofi and I started, because he was the drummer, and we were just teaching little people, which was scaring me to death, because I was like, and I'm supposed to teach them what now? And Cheche Kool-Aid, again, was a big hit. But Harambe Institute was my first black independent institution. And that was my introduction as far as in a school of that kind, and teaching. And it just grew from there, And then again, Verdana Williams, Mama Dino, she said we need a preschool teacher. And thus starts my teaching career. We need a preschool teacher. So I went into the classroom, from the dance floor to the classroom. And then was a part of teaching with them, with the Timbuktu dancers and drummers. I became they needed another body, so thus it continued. So when Arthur went to Maine, and I was on the phone with him, I said, what am I supposed to do? He said, do what I taught. It wasn't for me, it's not for you either. So you pass it on. So I did, and that was a part of the whole. Dance was the heart of it. But then, thus comes the other teaching. Yeah, so now I'm here at Lotus. There came an opportunity for us to go to Newark, and they wanted to do a tribute to him. And it was with Timbuktu dancers on the phone, and made the arrangements, and the children got the opportunity to go up there and do something in honor of Arthur Hall. So tradition continues, to pass it on to all those little people and the people who didn't know him, and I have the opportunity, but to tap into the culture. And that's how I really got involved with the culture, was with the Arthur Hall. And like I said earlier, it's how I found me. It's how I found me. African People's Action School, then to Lotus Academy, and it continues. It continues. You need something quick to do. Let me get them dancing or singing, or that keeps them calm. It taps into their spirit and redirects the energy. And I use that as a tool and a way of communicating with their spirit. And to redirect their energies when they get hyper. That's my medicine. That's my medicine. So, and they enjoy it. They understand, and teach them about themselves through the songs, like the EBREO, and teaches them about where it came from, the origin, and gives them a sense of I can teach them history that way, on where the song Cheche Kool-Aid, where it came from. And when you ask them, where's it from? Where does this song come from, and what was it used for? So it's not just a song, it's education through song and the culture, and they get a kick out of it, and so do I.